Gold seems to be a subject matter that seems to be making its way into the discussion with financial experts these days as they talk about how to navigate inflationary times. And as I look back here, you'll see on this hill there is kind of a hole in the side of that hill. And that was an attempt at a gold mine. This was a copper mine in here, and they mine copper all up and down here. But to entice the investors, they thought if they could find some gold, then they could really ramp up production. Well, that was a failed attempt. North of here, there was all kinds of gold in the mining camps. They were bringing out gold left and right. And in the heyday, it was quite fruitful. In our devotional today, we find ourselves in Exodus 32. Gold finds its way in the nation of Israel. When they left Egypt, they were given gold and silver and all sorts of things. God had a plan for that. He was going to incorporate that in the tabernacle. But while Moses was up on the mountain getting the instructions, not only for the nation, but also for their worship and the tabernacle, we see that they were busy down below instructing Aaron to build a golden calf. Now, why a golden calf? Well, in Egypt, that golden calf, Apis, was the god of everything. And in Canaan, it was Baal, and he was a very powerful god, but also a god of the weather. And so you can see we have a little bit of weather issue here. But a god of the weather. And so as they passed through the Red Sea and the wind drove the waters back, as they sat there on the base of the mountain and they saw the thunderings and the lightnings up there, no doubt their mind was going to this God. And they asked one another, what has become of this Moses? And so they went back to what they knew. And so they went back to those gods of Egypt. They worshiped the gods of the pagans. Now, when Moses comes down, he's not pleased at all. He had been up on the mountain with God, and then he comes down and he sees this contrast with the people. Instead of wanting to move forward, they've moved back. And he does something extremely interesting. And if you want a detailed account, go to Deuteronomy 9:21, and it talks about what he does with this altar, this statue. Is he pulverizes it. He scatters it in the water, and he makes them lap it up. This is interesting in the sense that if you take gold and you pulverize it, like what we see in Deuteronomy there, and throw it into the water, it begins to suspend, and instead of turning the water gold, it actually has a red tint to it. It's called colloidal gold, and I would encourage you to do some research on that. It has amazing healing properties to it. But pictorially, you can see that it had a color of blood. And we are literally cleansed by the blood. We are washed by the blood. And so a lot of things going on here. Moses is trying to get the people cleansed, consecrated, and moved on. It's easy for us, once we've received the Lord as our Savior, to kind of go back to our old ways. It's easy to kind of get complacent. It's easy to get discouraged and slide back. But what we need to do is we need to keep moving forward. So whatever you decide to do as far as your financial decisions as you look ahead, one of the things that we ought not do is we ought not set up golden calves in our lives. We ought not try to worship and to look at people, try to look at the things of this world, but we need to continue to look to God. May God bless you, and enjoy this winter storm that's coming in, and we'll talk to you soon.